Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a copycat chicken and gnocchi soup, the Olive Garden version, or the Olive Garden soup that we love. So I love copycat recipes. I'm not sure if anybody else does, but I kind of take it as a challenge that if I go to a restaurant and I pick something that I would like to eat there, can I make that at home, and can I make it cheaper, and can I make it even, or sometimes even better? If it's just as good, that's perfect for me, but cheaper, better, or even just at home, that's what speaks to me. So that's why we're making it today. Plus it's like 30 something degrees outside, so it's freezing, so it's going to be something nice and warm with some crusty bread for us to do. I've already cooked a whole pound of bacon. I don't remember bacon being in the chicken gnocchi soup last time I had it at Olive Garden, but some of the recipes I saw, a ton of them used it. So I used it, and I used it in my Ninja Foodie, and then I drained almost all of the bacon grease out of the bottom and saved it. But I'm going to use what little bit's left in there to soften my veggies. Now, I didn't see anybody really softening their veggies before throwing it in their crock pot or anything, but to me, I just like that onion broken down a little bit more. So if you want to skip this step and just dump it all in, it looks like that it'll all work out fine that way. But I just have a medium onion that I've diced up. The beginning of it, the dices were much smaller than the end by the time my eyes started to water, but small dices if you can, just so the soup is a little bit more creamy and yummy. I'm also going to toss in a cup of shredded carrots. And y'all see, this is from my freezer stock. This is why I love prepping veggies and putting them in there, because it makes meals like this go super quick. And I'm also going to toss in about half a cup of my chopped celery. Again, this is from my freezer stock. We'll let that soften for just a minute or so, probably about 3 or 4 minutes, to let it soften up and just kind of get those onions translucent. And then we'll come back, add our chicken and our seasoning. Okay, so our veggies are all softened. The carrots obviously are not fully softened, but they're good for at this point. Like I said, if you wanted to skip the softening part, you probably can. I've switched my Ninja Foodie from saute mode to slow cooker mode, and I have it in high because I'm just going to cook this in high for about 2 or 3 hours, and it should be done to that next step that we need. So now we're going to add our seasoning. I'm going to add a teaspoon of basil, and this is a brand new bottle, so it is still full. There we go. A teaspoon of poultry seasoning. And poultry seasoning is just like thyme and pepper and all those different things that you usually think of with like chicken pot pie, those kind of things. So some of the same or very similar seasonings is what we're already using, but gives it a little bit more flavor. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of my favorite Italian seasoning, about a tablespoon of garlic. Now I'm out of my minced garlic. Well, I say I'm out. It's outside in the pouring rain and all that, so I'm not going to get my big container of it. But the one we have inside the house will do in a pinch. And we need 4 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to use my chicken base. Now this is the dried one. This is not my preference of it. This is just whenever I went into the store, this is what they had the last time. And I didn't have any when I went for my grocery haul this time. So I need 8 teaspoons of this chicken base to equal 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, four cups of water. Now skip the water if you're using chicken broth. It's just 4 cups of chicken broth. Like I said, I'm using the chicken base, so that's why I'm using water also. And then 2 large boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Mine are still frozen. That will be quite alright. Chicken doesn't take very long at all to cook in the crock pot. And there we have it. That's all ready to get the lid on and let it cook. Like I said, we're going to cook it on high for about 2 or 3 hours, and then we'll come back to the next step of it. We have a lot to get done. I'm waiting for this rain to pass at least a little bit, but we have a lot to get done outside. You remember I told y'all we were going to get some more chickens in the spring? Well, Michael decided to go ahead and order like 1 million more. So now we've got to finish up the chicken coop for the big chickens, get the little chicken coop remodeled for the baby chicks and everything, get all the heating and everything set up. So we'll be out there doing that, and we'll show y'all later whenever they come in. But we're going to let this cook while we try and get some work done out there. So I'll see y'all back in just a little bit. Alright, y'all. So Eleanor's going to help us with this next part. We have taken our chicken all out and shredded it up. So we just shred it with 2 forks. We're going to pour it back in easily. Do you need some help?
I think I got it.
Here, let's see, so we don't splash. We're going to add in 2 cans of evaporated milk. Now she's going to add in 2 packages of our potato gnocchi. These are 1 pound each. So you go ahead and put them in. We'll just dump them in, baby. Gently keep your hair out. Here, look. You kind of do it like that. There you go. And then the rest will pour out easier. Gently down in the pot. There you go. That way it doesn't splash us. Alright, next package.
Now I'm going to see if I can do this.
See if you can do that one by yourself. Yeah. A little more down in the pot. Now we're going to add in about 5 ounces of baby spinach.
So put the whole entire thing in
No, get some big handfuls and I'll tell you when you're done. Hold
I feel like that's
Thatcher.
enough.
That's not enough. Do one more, like half that size. And do that, and then let's see.
Like this better.
Alright.
There.
And since we really like spinach, do one more little bit.
Okay.
Because it's going to shrink down a lot. There we go. And little baby.
Now it's time for our bacon.
Yes, but we're going to crumble this in.
So
I see. We're going to take about half of our bacon, so about half a pound, and just kind of break it up into it.
Hey,
You can have one.
You ready?
Thatcher, do you want to stir for us?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let Sissy do this part, and then you'll switch spots with her.
I will. Is that fun?
Does she like being in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I've never seen her being happy like that.
Be gentle.
Jumping.
Sissy, small pieces. You want a little bit of bacon in every bite, not big lines of bacon, because then it'll get chewy. There we go.
Oh my God, jumping. Oh my God.
We're going to cook this for another hour on high and then come back and check it. I do have some nutmeg pulled out just because I've read some comments to say that's really what they think makes the soup. So we'll taste test it at the end and see if that really is the case.
I hope it's good.
Okay, y'all, so that 1 hour is up and our dumplings still need a little bit longer to cook, so I turned this on a medium saute, still in my Ninja Foodie, and it's a little bit thinner than what I would want. I don't want it super thick, but I want it just a little bit thicker. So I took just a few scoops of the broth and I let it cool just a little bit. Added a teaspoon of cornstarch, and I'm going to pour this in, and that's just a little cornstarch slurry, and let it thicken up just slightly. And then we're going to taste test again in a few minutes. I am going to sprinkle in just a little bit of nutmeg also, like some people suggested. It does taste good, the flavoring's good, but it doesn't taste like the chicken gnocchi soup from Olive Garden to me. So we're going to try. Let's see. And I'm just doing a little sprinkling because nutmeg can go a long way. So maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon even. I'm probably going to turn this down to low. I just want to cook those gnocchi all the way through. They should be soft and not gummy in the center. So we're going to let this simmer for maybe about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and check it. I'm going to turn it down to a medium-low heat because right now it's boiling pretty good, and we don't want it quite like that. Alright, y'all, so dinner's all done, and it turned out super yummy. We just paired it with a little side salad with our cilantro jalapeno dressing, ranch dressing, and some French bread. I do think next time we'll need to remember to give at least an hour and a half for these gnocchi to cook, because they needed more than that 1 hour mark. And to add the nutmeg, but next time I'll probably leave the bacon out. I don't think it hurts anything, it just doesn't add anything to it. And we use bacon in a ton of other things that we don't need it in this. I want it to be more about the gnocchi and the chicken. But it's still really delicious. We're going to enjoy it, especially something this warm on such a cold day. As always, thank y'all so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that bell if you want to be notified when we post more videos. And we will see y'all again soon.